What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Sajid and this is Master Precision Trading. Throughout this channel, we'll just be going about different streams of income and how to acquire them. And one of them is just learning about the stock market, trading in the stock market, and today's lesson is about support and resistance levels. So let's go ahead and get right back into it. So right here, if you guys see my screen, support is just that area where it acts as a floor and the stock typically tends to bounce. Now, if it breaks that support level, that old support level will become a resistance level, and then vice versa. The resistance is a ceiling, acts as like a top, what that stock can handle, and when it will typically start to sell off. Now, if it breaks that resistance, it may act as that old resistance may act as a new support level, and it'll form a new resistance. So ticker symbol AMD, we're looking right here at the 1 minute 1 day chart, and we can obviously see it had a resistance right here at around 2611. So let's go ahead and make that little mark. And then if we look down here, we can see the dips clearly. So we can go ahead and say that it had a support down here. It did break that support, but that only means that this is the new resistance. And if it breaks that new resistance, that was that right here from this previous support level down in this area, breaks that resistance. Now this is going to act as a support, as we can see right here. It went up, created that resistance, hit that old resistance level, came down. This acted as a support, went back up to that resistance level, came back down, acted as a support. And that's what it's doing right now. So it's pretty simple. Resistance is just that area where it's going to typically start to sell off, and support is when people want to buy in because it's a good deal, it's a good buying range, it's oversold. And resistance, it's just overbought, so people are going to start selling their shares. So if we look at that, let's look at a different time period, 180 day. So today, I believe or not today, but recently it hit this support level right here, and it bounced off of that support level, and will probably hit this resistance level somewhere right here, or come up to right here. So it's pretty easy to identify support and resistance levels. It's so important to understand support and resistance levels because of how helpful they are, giving you just an idea on where the stock, where the direction is going, when's that next resistance, when's that next support. Pretty easy to tell, but it's there to help you. And there's indicators that are also there to help you. One of them that I use is the VWAP, and we can go ahead and see how in correlation the VWAP acted towards the lines we drew. So right here, as you can see, the VWAP gives a little bit of space and that cushion area, as you can see right here, but it does adjust well to the time period and how the stock is moving with the price action. So it hit that yellow line, hit this support line, hit this yellow line, or near that support line that we had drawn, or this resistance, broke it, came down, came right here, broke that, hit this resistance where this pink line, the top VWAP, is a resistance, and this bottom VWAP is the support level. Near this is when it will typically bounce off of. So it doesn't have to reach right here at this very top VWAP, but it does have to get near, just like the support we drew right here, and vice versa for the support right here. This was a resistance, my bad, and this is a support. It doesn't have to touch this line. It does have to get near it, and it gives us that idea that it will start to push back up. It's in good deal buying range. Another way we can go ahead and tell is by looking at the relative strength index indicator, RSI, and this one I use every day. When it gets to 70 right here, it tells us that it's overbought and it'll start to sell off. And when it gets down here to 30, it tells us that it is oversold and it's in good deal buying range. So think about a stock as just, if you go to the store, you're looking for the best deal, and that's the same thing in the stock market. There's all these different stocks, but we're looking for the best deal, and right here it was on sale. right here. If we can look right here. It was on sale right here. It was on sale, and now it's overpriced. Nobody wants this anymore. No one's gonna buy in right here, so it will sell off, and we'll go ahead and buy in when it's in good deal buying range. So that's pretty much how a lot of people go about buying into a stock, just based off of previous support and resistance levels. If we look at JDST, this one has an inverse, which there's another stock to it, and they move in a direction of one being good, one being bad, and when one's bad, the other one is good. So JDST in the 180-day 4-hour chart, it had this support right around this area of $70, but today it broke that pattern. So that tells us that now that it hit right here today, that old support level is going to act as a resistance possibly tomorrow, depending on pre-market. We can go ahead and make that decision. We can make that assumption of where it will head, that this is now going to act as a support resistance around $71. When it gets near that, it'll probably be oversold, as we can tell right here. The RSI level, when it gets to 70, it'll tell us that. Right now it's at 29, which it's in good deal buying range. So now it can still start to shed, keep going down to that old support level down here at $45. It's unlikely, but it is very possible. And that's why you don't only want to go off of technical indicators. We also want to go based off of just where that stock is headed in the future. What goals do they have? What plans do they have? And that is also very important. One of the factors that we do have to take account for. So JDST, I thought it would bounce right off of this 180-day 4-hour support level at $70. It broke it. It came down to 67, 66. I bought in at 66.30. I'm holding it overnight, currently at 62.28. I believe it went to 63.83 after hours. I'm holding it. Probably will sell at this new resistance level, and it can break that resistance level, but we also have to take in account for /GC on the gold futures, on what they did today, how they will react tomorrow, and JNUG very well today. So another one we want to look at is DGAS. So DGAS had an okay day. It's trying to make a recovery from where it was at $25 about 20 days ago. And if we look at that inverse right here for UGAS, let's look at the 1 day 1 minute chart. You see how it started to shed down, and it's trying to recover as well. But it reached that resistance. It reached that top VWAP. When it hit this yellow VWAP, the bottom VWAP, it acted as a support, and now this pink VWAP acted as a resistance. Now, if we go, notice how it started to shed down, and that is when DGAS started to go up. So these are just mutual funds and inverses. They're a little bit more complex and harder to trade, but they go hand in hand, pretty simple. I had a position overnight. I had some shares at $13.44, sold half of them yesterday, and the rest today at 15s. Pretty nice profit margin. Right, and if we look at here, HEAR had some news pre-market, all this good stuff. I got in too early right out of the gates, something I regret. Not something I regret, but I understand why it started to sell off. I do. I ended up getting in at 1920s down here, right out of the gates, thinking it would bounce off. I got in somewhere around here at the 1920 right here, thinking it would go up to that $20.60 resistance and test that resistance, but I should have went based off of my technical indicators. They would have helped me and been a lot more helpful as far as if it was going to go above that SMA and EMA line and trade between this middle VWAP and the top VWAP, giving me a 6.34% profit margin. But I was very foolish this morning. I didn't have much sleep, and that takes into account as well as how our trades go, being an emotional day trader. So I got in too early out the gates, started selling off, cut my losses around somewhere in the 18s for a little bit over $70 of a loss. Not bad, but we do have to understand. So right now I'm holding JDST overnight. See how that will act tomorrow. If it'll reach this resistance at $70, or even this other resistance at $73, $74. And something to just keep an eye out for tomorrow is AMRN. They had a nice run, but it's not in good deal buying range. As you can see, it's overbought. It'll sell off down here, come down to that 30 range, and we'll go ahead and purchase in at a support level. So that's all I got for you guys today. Just remember that support levels can become resistance levels when they are broken, and resistance levels can become support levels when the patterns are all broken down and they break their usual patterns. So you just have to be careful with it. Understand what you're doing. Only trade what you know. Keep it simple. So that's all I got for you guys today. Support and resistance levels, very important to understand. Very good indication on where to go in the market. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and get back at it again tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it down in the comment section below. I'll leave the @ to the Instagram page where we're actively posting good tips, good quotes, good information, solid stuff. At Master Precision Trading. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications, because we are posting every day some good quality content for you guys. And ultimately, we're just going to grow, stay consistent, lock in the profits, and just help each other out as a community. So once again, everybody, thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. And like always, have a good rest of your night. Thank you, traders.